Next project is to try and clear this out. Hi, my name's Robin and welcome to my Lewis Art vlog. Exciting times. I look around me. I have a studio space. Now this was, and I'm going to try and edit a bit of a picture in here at some point, this was just a spare bedroom for putting all of my resources and my wife's teaching resources all in one space, and it then started to get like and a few boxes of this and some storage space stuff of that and some leftover bits of furniture here, and it all just got crammed into this room. And so I had my eye on this room for a while in terms of turning it into a studio space. I've also been working on a project outside which will allow me to have a sheltered outside space for spraying, which I'll show you at on another vlog video. But this is the indoor space that I was quite desperate to get hold of, and here it is. It's up and running, and I'll give you a bit of a tour of it in a minute. It'll take seconds because it's not very big, but I'll show you a few of the things I've put around in the room and my thinking behind how I'm going to use this room for my artwork. Obviously, because I'm spray paint primarily, I don't spray indoors, so this will be for building my canvases, doing the finishing off with the drip painting on my canvases, tidying up the backs of the canvases, packaging the canvases, sending off the canvases, that sort of thing. All will happen in here. Also just doing some more art vlogs and showing some of my artwork, which again I'm going to do in a moment. Just showing you some of the ways that I think about composition and colour and all of those sorts of things as we go. So that's the whole point of this room. It's my art space, indoor art space, so that's quite cool. I've got a few things I wanted to do. One, I wanted to show you some of my previous artwork. So I've made possibly 1 or 2 canvases in the last 2 years, if I'm honest. So I've really not been creating, and one of the things that's happened because of this room is that I've been able to get out some of my older artwork which was stuffed in storage, and start to look at that. So I've got large canvases to have a look at some point, not today, but I've also got some work that I did on sort of like sketchbook artwork that I did on card using spray paint, and I thought we could have a look at some of those today. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I think what I'll do is I'll put them up on my board, but I'll also take a photo of them so I can cut that in when I edit the videos. And we'll just have a look and sort of see what I was up to before and think about where that's going to go now. So I'm just basically going to put the images up on here and then we'll have a look at them and see what we've got. I won't do too many today, but just to give you an idea of, this is something I could potentially do more of if people are interested. And I guess if you could comment and like the video, if that's how you feel about it, then great, then I know that I'm on the right track. If not, maybe we'll try something else. So here we go. So basically what I tended to do as test runs was get some card, put some masking tape around the edges, and then just spray my templates on, and then I could think about what worked and what didn't work in terms of making a larger canvas with the work. So there's a number of things within each picture that there are some things that I like and there are some things that I don't like. There were some things that worked, some things that didn't work. I think in this one I really like the clouds. There's quite a bit of heavy spotting going on in the clouds from the spray cans, which you don't really pick up from far away. So that's not too bad. The line and the edging is a little bit untidy. If you look closely, it almost looks like there's faded land in the distance there. If I'd have done that a little bit heavier, that might have worked actually. But you know, there you go. And what I've liked about this is there's a couple of different colours, tones in there of this sort of this aqua colour, aqua blue or something, I can't remember what it's called. And I've sort of gone darker to light, and then I've put in this sort of wet sand look, I call it, I think of it as, that's just sat across the bottom, and then I've stripped the spray across that so it's faded in here, and then I've added the white in and played around with what waves could look like, and sort of a few splashes and a few curves and so on with the waves. So I like these pictures. They're quite simple to do. When I did some work, at Heddons Valley, when I did my workshops at Heddons Valley, and people came along to have a go at the spray paint that I was doing, this sort of picture was something that I would encourage them. I would show them how to make, because it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. You're kind of layering up the sky, then the clouds, then the sea, then the sand, then the little crossover, and then you go on with the white and the waves. So it's quite a fun thing to do. So I'll probably dabble with a few more of these, and maybe even demonstrate one at some point in the future. So following on from that sort of thing, and then I also sort of dabble with a little bit of sort of land down the side, cliff down the side, and the rocks at the bottom down by the ocean. And again, it's a pretty straightforward process. Once you've kind of got the sky, the clouds, the sea in place, then you just, and the sand, then you just kind of dabble in, putting in, and I think if I remember rightly, what I did was I sprayed a pool of the paint, and then sponged this on to make this sort of scattered effect, and that's just another edge of card there going on, and yeah, it makes quite an interesting effect. So if I quickly, there's a few of these here, so if I quickly dig out a couple, you'll sort of see the different sort of things I was trying. So there was that one, then this one's coming from the other side, so a change of angle. The clouds are nice in this one. There's a little bit of grey in there as well. So we've got the white, but we've also got, there's a little bit of grey in the cloud to go with it as well. And then the land is just poking in from the left hand side on this one. And again, we've got the wet sand look, and then playing with the waves and so on as well. I've tried to bring a little bit of wet sand through the middle of this one, because you know you get that sometimes where you can, particularly in the shallow water, you can see the sand through the water. So I was kind of just pushing around, playing around with that a little bit here. It's quite hard to see on this camera, but I might do a close-up photo. There's some nice little whips of water cloud going on over here. It's a bit messy here, but I like this little bit here around the rock that I've put in. So what I'm thinking about doing perhaps with these is with some of these is putting them onto my website, and maybe just selling them off relatively cheap, because they are effectively sketches, testers, but they do make quite nice images that would go into a frame quite nicely, I think. In fact, hang on a second. So basically, I've got something like this packaged up, mounted, which I was selling previously, and that just meant that people could then basically just get a picture, get a frame, put them in, and put them up on the wall, add a little bit of colour to their home. So I was selling them off at sort of reasonable prices. So I might do the same again, put them on my website. So maybe keep an eye out for that if you're interested. So so there you go. There's a few of my images that I've done in the past. We're going to stop there, and I think I'll show you some of the things going on in my indoor studio space. So it might be easier if I just hold my camera here and show you what I've got. So basically it's just set up like so. I've got my American football bits on the wall there, memorabilia. I've got my art books and so on there. I've got my Mac here. Now this is old, so things like Photoshop and that don't really work. I've run out of storage years ago. It doesn't update and so on anymore. So it's pretty much had its day, but it's quite useful to have in here. So I've got a computer so I can Google images and so on and so on. Check out my website from a different computer, that sort of thing. A couple of images, paintings back here. There's a self-portrait that I did quite a few years ago now. This is a picture my son did and was exhibited in a local art gallery, which is very cool. I'm still waiting to put that up on the wall in a nice frame. Hello, I can see my reflection here. This sort of thing I did as a pastel a few years back, and I just had a nice old frame, so I sort of just did something to put in there quick. I got a few bits and pieces on my notice board already, but you know, I got my Horlicks Chimney stencil there, one of my old Lewis Art posters. All those details are the same, so feel free to go and have a look. And then some postcards that I was kind of working on at the time, local areas, Ilfracombe, Florence, and so Clovellian in Plymouth, which was actually a canvas. Here's a painting. This to date, not that actual one, but the large canvas, that's actually my highest selling artwork that I've made. So that's very cool. So it's nice to have a copy of that on the wall. Down here, a video for another day, I think, but this this book, Mouse, is just my favourite comic book ever by Art Spiegelman. It's an amazing couple of books, actually. So here on the wall I've got a map of North Devon. I'm particularly interested in the coast for a project that I'm going to do with Lundy Island, but I'll talk to you about that in a later video, I think, at a later date. Found some blue tack on the floor. Right, okay, so that's that. I've got here, oh look, this is a Mad magazine. I used to collect this when I was younger. I don't have any of them anymore, which is a shame, but so I went and eBayed this one. And the reason I like this one is there's two old folk here. You can't really see it when I zoom in. The two old folk in this, on this cover of this magazine, just reminded me of my grandparents. And it was July 1984. So yeah, whilst I was still living in Slough, just down the road from my grandparents, and I'd nip across the road to the newsagents and buy it and collect my Mad magazine. There are 60p. What about that? And below it, I have my favourite cartoonist from the Mad magazines was Don Martin, and I've got a couple of posters here on the wall, Don Martin posters. My son particularly loves this one with all the different types of noises, splitch and splotch and splodap and pwang, doint. Love it. So that's that bit. Now here, this is a bit of a, this isn't quite set up yet, but this is going to be, you can see I've still got to cut the edges, but this is going to be where I can construct my canvases and deal with the backing of them and so on and so on. There are my canvas, there are my stretchers ready to go at the back there. What's really cool about this is I built this myself, which I'm very proud of, because what's really cool about this is that I've got a stack of my paintings stored underneath. So I had to make this quite a high space so that the painting, so it's over 1 meter high, so that the paintings would fit underneath, but it's quite a nice storage space as well as a good workspace on top, which I will be working at in later videos. Yeah, so I think that's about it. There's not massive, there's not much else in here to have a look at, I don't think. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So it's a good space really for me. I've got all the stuff I need in here to get working on, and it means that I've got my own space. I don't have to keep packing things away at the end of the day and so on, so I'm making a mess anywhere else. I'm thinking about in the future doing obviously some artwork on video. I'd quite like to do YouTube live, but I don't know how to set that up just yet. So again, I'll look into that. And basically, yeah, I can probably do some composition work and stuff on my. I worked out how to record off the iPad and so on, so I could perhaps make those into videos and do some artwork that way. So that's something else I'm going to try as well. all of this stuff and the vlog in particular, all of the videos that I'm making at the moment, which are coming out on a Thursday and a Sunday at 10:15, both 10:15. All of these videos are testers on looking to see what works for me, what helps and enhances my practice, and what helps to attract viewers and subscribers and people to my website and my YouTube channel and my Instagram and Facebook. I just don't get on with Facebook. It just keeps locking me out. It's like the worst site in the world for me. So I'm not a massive fan of Facebook or Twitter for that matter. Actually, I think Twitter's quite negative for me. It doesn't always suit me. So there's a lot of negative stuff going around on Twitter, so I kind of tend to stick mainly just to Instagram. I like Instagram. It's a visual thing more. There's just more images and positivity on there, so I like that. Yeah, so everything I'm trying to do at the moment is just trying to work out what's going to be good to use, good to do at the moment. Just thanks for watching, and please feel free to comment below, and I'll try to reply to everyone who comments, so that's something. And now I'm just waffling really at the end of the video. I don't really know how to finish it off. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.